Hi there, it's Meonicorn. This is that time of year where I pick up my top 10 favorite books in 2017 and talk about them. If you are familiar with my channel, you are more than welcome to guess which book I'm going to share today. And I have 7 fiction books, 2 non-fiction, and 1 poetry collection to share. But I have to say these books are not necessarily all 5-star rating for me, but they are either great stories stay with me for a long time or non-fictions that impress me a lot. And I'm going to talk about them in random orders by genre. The first fiction books in my top 10 list is My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Sorry by Frederick Buckman. This is my first Frederick Buckman's work. Many people know him because A Man Called Uva, but I read this one first and I fall in love with his writing. The story is about a little girl named Elsa, and she has a really close relationship with her grandmother. And one day her grandmother got cancer and died and left behind a bunch of letters for her to send to the people that her grandmother was around. I love this novel because I love all the amazing and well-developed characters, including Elsa, Elsa's parents, and most importantly, her grandmother. Her grandmother was brilliant and she's the soul of the whole novel, although she died in the beginning of the story. And also the storyline was well structured. You can discover a lot of amazing background stories of each of the character. And what impressed me a lot is in the beginning of the story, I did not like one of the characters, and she did not change any of her characters or behaviors, but in the end of the story, because of the author's writing, I started to like her. So Frederick Buckman just twists your emotion in a seamless way and you get fully involved in the storyline. And of course, as the title suggests, the book is about grief and forgiving, and how Elsa discovered the stories about each of the person around her and continue living without her grandmother around. And my next 2 books are in a series. They are Sleeping Giant and Waking God by Sylvain Neuvel. They are talking about a girl on Earth one day discovered this giant stone hand, and people around the world starting to discover different parts of a giant. And they put together and weird things start to happen, and the setting was just amazing. And the whole novel was written in conversation format, so while listening to a lot of people talking, you get to know each character's personality. And one thing I got from these novels is the discussion about the power of the army and the power of the government. And the next book on my list is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I have a full review of this book. I'll link it down below in the description box. This is a dystopian novel set in the future in a place called the Republic of Gilead, which is the future of America. In the Republic of Gilead, women does not have any rights, so each of them have a duty to have baby. If they don't have a powerful family and they don't have children, they are going to be sent to the childless powerful families to be handmaids. And also they don't have a name. Our main character is called Alfred because she is the handmaid of a man called Fred, so she is Alfred. And her whole life is about trying to get pregnant. And all the handmaids, they cannot express their emotions in the society. Not only the handmaids, but also like other people. They have a lot of regulations where they're talking and they have to say, I'm happy with my situation or something like that. And in this novel, we are also able to discover what is the life before the Republic of Gilead and how did the main character lose her life all of a sudden. This is a stunning book with wonderful writing and amazing word setting, and I really like it. And the next fiction on my list is Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo. This is a shortlisted book for the Bailey's Women's Prize in 2017, and I read it for that reason, and I fully love this book. This is talking about a couple in Nigeria where it is normal for the husband to have multiple wives, especially when they don't have children. The main character get married with an agreement, that is, they are not going to do the one husband and multiple wife thing. They're going to form this one-on-one family. However, after a lot of years, they still don't have children, and they got a lot of pressure from both sides of the family, and the husband was forced to have a second wife. This book was powerful and it's able to involve all your emotions. I read this book in one setting and I cannot put this book down because it is that wonderful. There are a lot of twists and turns in this book that will shock you, but they go so smoothly, so it feels really natural. And the character development is so amazing and they just feels so realistic. And I think this book is the book that I'm going to reread in the near future. And the next book on my list is The One, and it is the favorite book that I read in 2017, and without any surprise, it is The Unseen World by Liz Moore. This is a historical fiction which I have a full review for, so I'll link the review down below as well. It's set in 1980s in Boston. It's talking about a girl named Ada who is raised by her single father, and her father David is a scientist and a college professor in computer science. One day, Ada discovered that her father has Alzheimer's. Before things got worse, David left a puzzle for Ada to solve. While solving the puzzle, Ada has a lot of misunderstanding about her father's life, and you as the audience can see the whole life story of both Ada and David. And this reading experience is just amazing. I like that this book is both a mystery and a historical fiction, so when the mystery part is leading the story, it would really catch your eyes and you cannot stop reading it. But when the historical fiction part is leading the story, it's really informative and educational because there was special time and life condition in Ada and David's life, and they are facing a lot of difficulties because of the environment of the country. So I gained a lot when reading this book. And the writing of this book is just wonderful. It is the best writing I have read in 2017, so I really love this book. And the last fiction on my list is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. I'm a huge mystery fan and I love to read books by Agatha Christie and also Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And I read this one when I was a child, and I reread it this year because of the movie, of course. And I'm really glad that I reread the book because I don't remember a lot of the details in the book, and I don't even remember the ending of it. So I kind of get myself a second chance to be surprised by this book and to be surprised by how the ideas was formed in Agatha Christie's writing. Because this book has a very special structure even in the mystery genre. And of course you get all the background story about each individual characters, and also you can find the links and clues to the murder, but you cannot guess the ending. So I really love this book, and it is one of Agatha Christie's most famous classics, and it's well deserved. And next, I have two memoirs to talk about. The first one is, of course, Hunger by Roxane Gay. It is a memoir of her body and talking about why she let her body to grow bigger because she can feel more secure in her bigger body. And also talking about what is her experience of being an overweighted African American woman in America. I have a full review of this book. I'll link down below. And this is also one of my 7 books that opened my mind in 2017 because this book guided me to see a lot of issues and problems that I did not notice in our society. I didn't know that it is so inconvenient when you are largely overweight, and also I didn't know a lot of issues that African American people meet every day. I have lived in the US for 4.5 years, and there are still so many things that I don't know because the social structure is so different between China and the US, and both countries have some unique issues that I cannot notice when I was not in that country. So it's really interesting for me to read from a lot of voice, and I really like Roxane Gay's ways of thinking, and I cannot wait to read more of her books. And the next memoir is You Don't Have to Say You Love Me by Sherman Alexie. This is the first Native American author that I read. He had this so poetic style that makes you cannot stop reading, and also he has a lot of poems in this memoir. This is a memoir of his relationship with his mother, and what impressed me a lot is he talks about the living conditions in the reservation of Native Americans, that a lot of stories that I don't know before. I have a lot of thoughts about this book, and I'm going to do a full review of it in the future. And the last book in my top 10 list is a poetry collection, and I think you may all know which poetry collection I'm talking about. It is Depression and Other Magic Tricks by Sabrina Bannon. This is the first poetry collection that makes me fall in love in my entire life, that I can say that, because it is so wonderful. And 2 of my favorite poems in this book is the first one, The First Date, and one in the middle. It's called Explaining My Depression to My Mother, a Conversation. And I just feel so connected to her poems, and I love the reading experience. And also she performed some of the poems that she wrote, and her performance is amazing. I'll link one of her performances down down below, and you can check out to see if you are connected with her emotions. And I really like this poetry collection, and this is the reason why I want to read more poems in the future. And that's all my top 10 favorite books that I read in 2017. I hope you enjoyed this video, and also let me know one of your favorite books in 2017. Please comment down below in the comment section, and I hope you have a happy reading in 2018. See you next time. Bye!